Yeah, brother. Good to meet you, Dan.
Good to meet you. I didn't catch your name, sorry.
Maori.
Maori the Maori?
Maori the Hori.
Teare. I'll let you introduce yourself in a moment, Teare, but Teare is a good friend, social advocate, prominent artist, and just general all-round good bugger. So, Teare, kick us off.
Kia ora whānau.
Who are you? Why should we listen to you?
Because I'm on radio, first of all. No, nice to be here with Six, good friend of mine, and good advocate for Karangahape Road, obviously, in all types of ways. Ko Ngāti Kaununu ahau, ko Tāki Timutu Waka, ko Runanga te marae, ko Tamate Ariki Nui te Ariki a te Rangatira, ko Ngāti Mahui ka te hapu. I hail from Hawke's Bay, born and bred in Hawke's Bay, Napier Hastings. Predominantly overshadowed by the Mongol mob, obviously, which is sort of the upbringing I've had, and which has brought me to Auckland actually to break the cycle and be part of sharing my talents and my skills I never knew I had until I got out of that place, and that's through Māori art, through identification through Māori, and the homeless community know me as Māori. There's a lot of story behind that. So when I first moved here, I understood there was a lot of disconnection through homeless people and their own identity as a Māori. And I figured, how am I going to use this opportunity to first of all engage with them, second of all teach them that they're actually Māori. They're not just outcasts of the community. And so I told everyone around the city my name was Māori.
Yeah.
And they got a response. For instance, riding past on my scooter, Che Māori, Che Māori.
Yeah.
And it sort of gave them that sense of belonging as a Māori.
That's good you saw it as an opportunity to help people when you saw like disenfranchised and you're like, here's an opportunity for me to do some good.
Yeah, and so Six knows me as Teare, all my close friends know me as Teare, but the whānau know me as Māori. You can often hear them yelling it out every time I walk down Karangahape Road.
Māori ora.
Māori ora, yeah, well, you can add that to it too. And that's my connection to Karangahape Road, where I come from.
It's more than that, bro. I mean, you've become, you're not a social leader. You've become a trailblazer.
Trailblazing behind that big other star, Grayson Golf.
Grayson, we must get Grayson on the show sometime.
So, just putting myself in the position front line where we can engage with our whānau in the community and create voices for them.
But Teare, you're being pretty humble, because I know for a fact you're not afraid to give people a kick up the arse, and I know I've been on the receiving end of that a couple of times, and you get shit done.
I suppose it's about leadership, and empowerment. That's all that's about, Six. I see skills, I see talent in all types of people, and my idea of trying to engage with them is actually trying to help them understand that they're a part of our community and they have the power to empower other people. Yeah,
and speaking of that, it's not just about empowering Māori though, because when I said, hey Teare, we're ready for you now, you're like, can I bring my Malaysian mate, Akita? Welcome to the podcast, Akita. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you guys got together? And
yes, sure. Hello everyone, like who's listening to us. My name is Akita Jaya and I'm from Malaysia. I'm just being here like in 2.5 months.
Selamat datang.
Oh yes, selamat datang. And in our language in Tamil, vanakkam. And yes, I actually love Uncle Teare's idea and the community here. And in New Zealand, it's just like I was so surprised because in Malaysia, I never been like this type of like podcast, and then I never met any of the community, but I know there is a lot of community over there, but I don't have the lot of courage because I'm just like 21 years old, and I'm being here like so excited, and Uncle Teare is very amazing. He had a lot of ideas to be like in a creative way. I just learned about his way, and a lot of things I'm just learning, and I'm just so stuck.
What are you doing here in New Zealand?
Planning to just migrate here, staying here, yes. And I'm so excited to be here.
So how did you know Teare before you came here, or did you meet on the street, or?
We met at our whanau. In a...
Whare?
Yeah, whare, sorry.
Whare.
Yes. We met Grayson first, and then we get to know each other.
And you're an artist too, yeah?
Yes, I do henna in Malaysia, and I love to put henna usually.
Lovely.
Yes. Just like creative things. In the aquarium, I draw moons over there, like moon phases, and then I got to know that Uncle Teare also had an idea about the moon phases, like drawing on the walls. And then Uncle, you want to say something?
I guess that's looking at our maramataka.
Yeah.
And having a connection with Akita through that, and we're slowly working on some projects now around that, and just understanding that her idea in Malaysia is pretty similar to what we're doing here in New Zealand.
Do you see a connection between the Malay culture and the Māori culture? Is there a connect there? Or?
Our first connection, I think, is our colour, chocolate, the chocolate brownie, and and our second connection, I suppose, is which is quite effluent throughout every community, is whānau and aroha, love and family.
Good one.
So how do we take this love, aroha, family, this artistic endeavour? How do we take that to the streets? How do we re-engage? COVID's been a bitch of a time, and now we're all kind of trying to re-establish our lives. But with that comes an opportunity to connect with the wider community through art, through hana, through the Chronicle, through all these mediums that we're putting out there.
Sure. I guess it's about connecting with other community groups within our precinct, and coming up with a foundational space around an art space, an art identity, I guess, an art community space, and throwing our ideas into the pot and mixing it up and creating our own vision and our own, I guess, our own twist on what K-Road's all about.
Let's talk to Cabers, see if we can activate some of these vacant buildings for some
Sounds great.
pop-up art installations. Because I'd love to get my henna done. My henna on my henna.
Henna.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Yeah, Teare, what kind of art installations have you done in the past? You've been doing this for a while on K Road now.
Too many to mention.
What's one of your favourite ones you've done?
Oh, my favourite one I've done was down Fort Street. I had 15 dials, 2 metres squared, round dials above the power poles along Fort Street. They were only meant to be up for 2 months. They ended up staying up for 5 months. And those were
Dials?
Yeah, big moon dials, maramataka dials, on perspex with facials and moko. And just sharing, using the circle, which we call porofita, as a way to identify all our celestials.
Good one.
Yeah.
Why do you think art is such a powerful form of communication? It can awaken feelings in us, and it can awaken memories in us, and you can hear a song and remember that person you kissed on the dance floor at the blue light disco. Art enables us, awakens sensations and emotions and feelings in us. Why is it such a powerful form of communication?
I could probably answer that. Like Six said, it's quite a powerful notion, quite a powerful movement. And I guess as an artist, a painter, carver, whatever artist you are, you come from a different world when you think about things.
I know plenty of bullshit artists that do.
Oh, there's plagiarizers, eh?
There's an art to that, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're designing, activating and sharing your art, you're in a good space because people actually want you to see what's going on in your head. And
True.
it's a way of connecting the like you said, the bullshit world and the real world. And for me, it's the environment and our connection to the environment. Yeah.
Why do you think that art is not generally valued as it should be, like other careers and trades and professions? Why is there this idea that somehow the artist is not contributing value to society?
Yeah, well, exactly. We're born into the society, Six. So some of us are born consciously around what art means to us and what the system means to us, and using art as a way of holding the system accountable. That we don't have to go and get a diploma, we don't have to be educated, and people are still listening because and providing a space to understand our stories and our hits, providing spaces for our band members, for all our musicians, and creativity. They say you can't make a living out of it, but I guess
Well, I don't understand that, and I don't understand why my phone's ringing. Sorry, team.
Crazy world. Teare, what's your favorite mediums to work with as an artist?
social sculpture.
Social sculpture. Tell us about that.
Working with communities.
All right, nice.
Yeah. I get a kick out of out of working with different people, different artists. It starts making sense of how the world turns. You know, you got the I guess giving people the opportunity that I never had as a young person, being an artist, creating spaces and getting our people, getting the communities within a creativity flow, and just seeing what comes out, mate, is fucking beautiful.
Do you have a studio around here or something?
Oh, we do. We have one on Poynton Terrace. And I think our next engagement out of the Poynton Terrace would be another class that we run. We run carving classes out of there.
Oh, cool.
But we're still looking for a bigger space to cater for all these other...
You hear it? Right here. If you've got a bigger space available for our fellas down in the Pitt Street Methodist, let us know. We'll hook them up.
Our up-and-coming artists, they need a space to...
Can anybody get in on these carving classes?
Of course they can.
Yeah? How do they go about doing that, finding them?
Well, obviously, we don't have that foundation in the community as a hub to connect. And I think we've started one now in this room, on this podcast, yeah.
How could they reach out to you, though, somebody who's interested in working with you?
Well, we have a trust behind us, AMTK Trust. We haven't quite launched our foundation, and I guess we're in that position, and with Six being a big part of our journey so far, I think, like we said earlier, we need more people to invest in our time.
Yeah. Have you got a catchy name yet for your collective?
Yeah, Whena Mai Tātou Katoa, which means we're there to help everyone.
Cool. Love it.
Yeah, also I really like Uncle Teare's because I love his idea, and then he's serving the community very in unique type of the work, and then I'm still learning and I just always wanted to learn Uncle Teare's skills.
Plagiarism.
I'm still
steal his idea. Yeah, steal from one's plagiarism, steal from many's research.
Yeah, I suppose if I was to respond to that, it's about empowering other artists again, but like succeed. We need the community to understand that we're here. We ain't going anywhere. We need to somehow find a way to share our ideas and our community aroha and whanaungatanga. on a larger scale than it already is. K Road's probably the most famous street in New Zealand.
Yeah,
arguably. It has its own...
I don't think it's even arguable since we got 6th coolest street in the world.
But obviously you can understand that we need to hold our own space as a collective throughout K Road.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have a lot of lodges around here that have prison leavers, lodges that house people without emergency lodges. So if we're looking at a place to hold them and give them something to do during the day, I guess our plea to the community is get them behind us, and we'll provide the skill and some of the tools. And if anyone can provide us a space, put a bit of love in there, put a bit of whānau in there.
And hey, if you are struggling to get a hold of Teare and the AMTK Trust, just comment down below and get in touch with me at the K Road Chronicle, and I can always connect you guys up.
Who would you say is good for anyone who's looking for...
Jewellery.
To make jewellery.
To make jewellery, to purchase jewellery, to learn new techniques.
Greenstone carving?
We do have a greenstone collective on K Road. Ernesto from...
The Oro
Negro,
black gold. Yeah, that's a wonderful shop.
And we all know each other. We just don't row in the same boat at the moment. Everyone's on their same different journeys, but I just feel like it's time to come together. And Six has got her own new setup, main setup, and expanding on top of K Road Chronicles, because that's an art in itself.
Yeah, we're lucky to have this little space here.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Not huge, but
it's getting smaller all the time.
We got a live audience today. 3 people in the room.
Yeah. Can we get it? Like we do have a live audience today. There's a small space.
Applause.
So applause. Who we got? We got Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy.
We got Param over the back of us.
My name is Param.
Hi, my name is Akita Jaya.
And what's our favourite podcast?
K Road Chronicle.
Oh.
Thank you.
Erratic.
All right, so back to the interview at hand.
Yeah.
What do you see the state of the Karangahape Road art world? I mean, I see a lot of pretense sneaking in. I'm no art critic, I'm no artist, but honestly, some of the stuff out there that's like being passed off as artwork is pretty juvenile. No
disrespect to all the art schools around here, Elam and all of that, and I really dig all the haura hiningaro art classes that people run, which is mental health, obviously. I really support all that, but I just feel like they're all rowing in different directions, and I think it's about time we all jump on the same boat and start rowing together. And
build that community, eh?
Yeah.
That metaphor of the waka, like that.
Yeah, right. Hard out. So, yeah, just understanding art is only a medium to connect.
I guess, maybe, I don't know how long ago, 10, 20 years ago, it might not have been that cool to have your art studio on K Road, but it's being gentrified more now. And how many art studios are there on K Road now?
There are quite a few,
There's probably almost as many kebab shops as there are artists.
I used to know a guy, and he'd be like, hey, come on to this art. There'd be like an art opening every night so he could get free wine.
Oh,
because he just jump from...
plug for Arts Diary. If you're on a budget or you're a beginner's guide to being called, check out our Arts Diary. Almost every night of the week there's an exhibition on with free wine and nibbles. Can't go wrong, darling.
And art.
I feel like it'd be a good time to offer Six a opportunity to share some of my own work in the next Chronicles. She's been trying to hit me up for a little while now.
What kind of work is this?
Just canvas.
Yeah.
Carving pendants, all types of art.
Oh, yeah. You're kind of a jack of all arts.
Hone of all arts.
Hone.
Yeah, my
Renaissance man.
My mind just doesn't stay in one realm. It's
right.
It's always.
What's your favorite area to express yourself in when you're making art? Besides the community building you mentioned.
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I get cooking is an art too, right?
It is.
What isn't an art, really? You put your clothes on in the morning. That's art. Fashion, you're dressing yourself.
Okay.
Then you make breakfast. Cooking food's an art. I think, like, is there anything in life, really, that can't be considered an art form?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe when you take a shit.
I think that, like, well, I think saying everything is art kind of undermines the value of it. If everything
can be art.
But no, if everything is art, then nothing is art. So it actually, by saying everything is art, means that it undermines the value of art.
I don't know if I say everything is art, but everything can be. You can do everything in, like, if art is a way of expressing yourself and your thoughts, then isn't everything you do can be done in a way like that? You can, like, intentionally.
I don't know. I think that could debate that for a long time, but I mean, I'm sure, like, there's plenty of times when, is sleeping art? Is watching TV art? Is driving art?
You got to find what works for you as a way to express yourself artistically.
Can I swing the pendulum back this side? And I got a question for Akita.
Yeah.
As a young woman, powerful woman, powerful artistic woman, what are your dreams and aspirations in New Zealand for the next couple of years?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Yes. I really like to work with Uncle Teare, and because as I said, he had a lot of ideas, and then I'm just learning since I'm just had a lot of hard times before, and then here I'm thinking like New Zealand is the best country to explore what is the art, and then I like the Maori's designs and all of those creativity, the carving things. So I still wanna I wanna try and do and all that. I wanna learn that one. And my dream is to be an artist, and I want to learn something different and something more like really unique, and that's so
beautiful.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well said.
You've got a good mentor there, seems like it.
Yes.
Teare. I'm just interested to know about your history as an art maker, your story, how you got started in art, what your journey was, Teare.
I grew up around all these old farts that were carving and they're master carvers of marae and stuff. I was sweeping wood chips for 2 years and told them, I says, hey, you can sweep your own fucking wood up. I'm not here to sweep up wood chips, but what I didn't realise is over those 2 years I was being taught without being taught. Do you know what I mean? You
were learning the whole time.
Paint the fence.
Yeah.
Like the Karate Kid styles.
Yeah, sort of like that. Similar to that.
Yeah, the sweeping, that was the same. Teach me how to sweep.
But little did I realise there was a couple of sets of Dremels set up in the background.
Couple of sets of what?
Dremel machines.
Dremel.
They look kind of like a dentist drill, but they're designed for carving.
Right. The specific carving.
Never quite got to the chisels at that stage. I was only 16 at the time. I was there for a reason. I was there because my behaviour wasn't quite in tune with the community. And so this was one way of keeping me away from the gangs, number one, and keeping me out of jail, number two, and keeping me focused on learning. Number three, I jumped on the Dremels as these old farts were still doing their big carvings, and I took to the Dremel like a duck to water.
Right.
And all of a sudden I had my own niche, and I was actually, the things I learnt over the 2 years, I was miniaturising them on the Dremel. And that was, and I actually lost interest chasing girls after that. And moved to Wellington, and I was sitting on Queen's Wharf when I was 21, wondering what the fuck am I going to do now? And had an opportunity to help set up a bone carving store up Cuba Street. And I was part of a art collective up Cuba Street as a 21-year-old, bone carving and starting to sell my pieces, which I'd never done. They're all gifts to me.
So you started on the bone. So these other guys you're working with, they were carving on the wood.
See, these old fellas were in charge of building new maraes,
Mm.
and the carvings for a new marae are $250,000.
Yeah, wow.
And so you don't want this young married boy picking up sticks off the ground, jumping on these $250,000 pieces. But actually, that was the plan for me. But I took off as we do, eh, bro?
Yeah.
You know, chase the old ladies down to the city, and I was in a crossroads when I realised that I had a skill that could help me create a living without having to steal, corrupt, or hurt people.
Quite the opposite. It sounds like you've used it to help people.
Yeah, well, I helped myself really, and then I was lucky enough to have pieces go through Te Papa. Yeah, and from there on, I never looked back. Right. And then I had another break because the money wasn't doing anything for me. So yeah, I moved to Auckland and found out what a homeless person was, and I got my mojo back because I then knew again I can use my skill to engage with our community groups, our communities in need and marginalised communities, and just reconnecting people with their identity who were lost, born into our system, which was a big fraud.
Yeah.
And just making them understand that we're on this earth for a reason. Everyone has a purpose. And whatever their purpose is, all I was trying to do is just create that bridge, build that bridge with them, help them walk over it. Yeah, so worked in the prisons since then. Salvation Army, City Mission, Lifewise, worked with all of them, volunteered for them for 9 years. So it's all been around volunteering for me. When I look back, a lot of my friends I grew up with now are running gangs. You know, and that could have easily been me. Had I not taken this opportunity of picking up their wood off the ground for 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you are running a gang of artists.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. No, I suppose I'm just helping people enjoy their creativity and bringing their vision to reality. Because, man, there's some real talented artists out there. And people don't know until they get given the chance, or people will never know until someone gives them the chance.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm all about, empowering people. Whakamana.
Kia ora. Well, thanks for engaging with us today.
No, thanks for the free drink, my brother.
Oh, you don't even touched it yet. Gee.
Oh, just...
Yeah. Teare, Akita?
Akita.
I keep going, Akita. It's Akita. Akita. I want to thank both of you and for bringing the entourage. Want to thank both of you on behalf of the K Road Chronicle. I'm not going to thank you on behalf of Dan because he can thank you himself. But, you know, it's been an eye-opener. I hope somebody hears this and comes forward and, you know, provides some resources. You know, it's like... you know, like Teare and I both said on our own at some stage, we don't want you to solve our problems. Just give us the resources, and we'll solve the problems. And we're like K Road Chronicle, AMTK, other social do-gooders. We're getting together now. We're working together, and this is a part of that. So when you support the K Road Chronicle, you kind of support these other guys, but you know we can hook you up with them to make proper support anyway. So subscribe to the Patreon channel.
Kia ora.
Share the link with your friends.
Kia ora.
Thank you very much, audience, for tuning in.
Kia ora.
I want to thank Callum for coming on board as a Patreon sponsor.
Awesome.
It really helps us keep going.
Hey,
so
Callum.
thank you very much, and I'll give Dan the last word.
Yo, Dan.
Thank
What's
you.
up?
Thanks for joining us and talking. No, we'll give you guys the last words. Any last words you'd like to give to our listeners?
No. Oh, Kita, where you go, Dal?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So this is the time that, you know, I am here in New Zealand, you know, people get to know me, you know. And thank you so much, Uncle Teare. Uncle, you know, he's an amazing artist. Yes, I'm a big fan of him.
Yep,
Yes.
study
Yeah,
hard.
thank you.
I can
Yes,
tell you're
yes,
going to learn a
yes.
lot. Pick up
Yes.
those wood chips off the ground.
Thank you very
You'll
much.
be fine.
Kia ora.
Kia ora, guys.
Kia ora.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.